We're interested in this next one. Let's see what happens with the ranked choice voting going statewide. Oh, wow. What do you guys think about that? That's a big no right there for this early returns. But this would take Portland's experiment and take it statewide for statewide elections and
federal, races.
Not legislative races.
Yeah, it was interesting that this came from state lawmakers, but it doesn't apply to them. But it looks like voters, at least early on in the evening, are poised 60-40 to decisively reject.
Well, the news on ranked choice voting is all about the Portland experience. And I think for the average citizen trying to determine that, it's confusing. And I think they're reluctant to move forward, even though this would be significantly different than what is being acted on in the city council.
Yeah, one of the arguments against it, though, I think was this, talk that maybe we should open the primary system instead, right, rather than going into this ranked choice mode. Maybe it's a top two, but just opening it up, because right now it's just so narrow, especially because Oregon has so many unaffiliated voters.
Sure. Now, I'll be honest, working around the state, excuse me, not directly in Portland, not many other people are paying attention to what's going on in Portland's voting system, right? I mean, you move a couple counties down and they're like, what are you talking about? I think the reason that this has failed, at least for now, and at least what I've understood about it, is it's confusing, and it's a very different way to be voting. And some people get really excited about that. Some may have a different solution, but voter confusion is voter suppression. I've said it before. It's hard to try to tell people this is something that needs to, that we just need to change the way we vote. I mean, people take voting very seriously, very personally. Not having a lot of information from the no side actually doesn't always help.
When you say suppression, meaning they just don't vote, or they don't
vote, or voting no keeps the status quo, right? And typically in a ballot measure, you can count 17 to 19% that just vote no because I don't know, I don't want to change, I don't get it.
The whole comfort zone thing.
Yeah, I mean, I work on ballot measures, I help write them, and they're still confusing. Like, it's a hard concept.
Well, you've said something about ballot measures because you do have a lot of experience with it. Are people fatigued with ballot measures, do you think?
I don't think they're fatigued as much as we have not made them. We haven't campaigned them simply for people. We're not letting people actually understand what they are. It's the $1,600 free money for everybody, and then they move on from it, right? And we only saw yes messaging that just made it seem so simple and easy. Like, hey, this just gives you all the choice, and this is an expression of democracy. I think people know, like, you're changing the way I'm going to vote. You're going to change the way we give authority to my vote and who's going to be there. There's got to be something different. Now, the numbers could be wrong and we could flip, and I'll still share the same sentiment that I think it's a confusing thing to introduce in a year where there is so much going on the ballot. You really have to measure that out, no pun intended, when you're putting a ballot measure forward. Where do you measure?
Well, yeah, I mean, the ballot measure is like, it was a folded up piece of paper that you had to fold and unfold and then like get out a magnifying glass and read through. What I'm surprised about is usually when something is out, like $10 million for the yes, very little opposition. That's surprising. I'm also really curious to see what happened, what Multnomah County had to say about that ballot measure, right? As we're muddling through this new system to put it on the ballot, maybe it wasn't the right year to put ranked choice on the ballot. I also would say, like, voting by paper, voting by mail, like, across the board, it's the easiest way to vote. It makes, like, the most people are able to vote. We have 80% turnout routinely. Ranked choice is actually not easier on paper. It's easier to do ranked choice on a machine.
You can get confused by which ranking you're giving.
Totally. The machine doesn't let you do it wrong, right? The machine's like, you can't do that twice, right? Whereas, Multnomah County was sending out these flyers for people to stumble on late in the game, being like, don't do it this way. So I think
because a number of people were voting for the same candidate multiple times.
Yeah, totally.
More than one.
And ranking. It's like, yeah, it's like two things that are both good for democracy. Like, together, are they still is a desired impact? Like, yes, voting on paper ballots, that is a proud tradition. That's something we do in Oregon. We love it. And ranked choice, it does give more people a voice, but put them together and, like, maybe the user experience, I don't know.
Just on those calls, by the way, just on the Measure 117, which is ranked choice statewide, Oregonians saying that has failed, that is their definitive call. 117, that's the one we're talking about there. And then the other one I just want to mention, 115, impeachment of state officials, Oregonians saying that is a pass. That's 115 there. And 118, if we can look